everyone. Merry Christmas. Hi, Deborah. For some of the people in Europe, today is St. Nicholas Day, the 6th. I used to have a colleague that had emigrated to Canada from Holland, and she always talked about it, so I know that the Dutch do it. And there's a cross stitcher I follow in Ukraine, and she had mentioned it today, so her family all did their presents today. I'll just see who else is going to come in here. Merry Christmas back to you, Deborah Holdman. Thank you for joining. Sorry about the goofy light. I'm gonna fiddle with it because right now I'm looking that way, which is east, and depending on how the sun comes up, because it's not quite all the way up yet over the houses behind us, I might have to pull my blinds down a little bit. Right now I got the overhead light on because it's just, yeah, the light in this room in wintertime is not great. Hi, KD. Hi, Santa Kelly. I thought I'd be festive. I got Christmas earrings on. I have loads of Christmas earrings. I'll show you guys what I'm going to do, but I'll let a few more people come in. I probably should press that corner a bit more. Okay, anyway, I got this humongous piece of fabric. This is going to be a bandana for Henry. So let me just press it a wee bit more while people come in, because I just realized one edge is kind of... One of the edges is not that flat, so let's give it a bit of a... Just let it... Doesn't really matter, but for the sake of argument... This is Ferris's. Had it for a while. The square is 22 inches. And then you fold it on the diagonal. So this long piece, I just measured Ferris's earlier. The long bit is 31 inches. They're pretty big dogs. They're Bernese Mountain Dogs, and they have lots of fluff. So in order to tie this in a double knot around the dog's neck, it's got to be big enough. I've kind of experimented over the years, and now I know what size to make it for my two. If you have a smaller dog, or like a lab or something with shorter fur, you probably could make your square a little bit smaller, like maybe 20 inches. I don't have a formula for you, sorry, you're going to have to just kind of fiddle with it. But the whole idea is to make it that you can tie it in a double knot around the dog's neck. And yet somehow Ferris still manages to get out of his. I don't know how. I find it in the backyard when he's roamed around. And whatever. Anyway, both dogs are going to the groomers next Wednesday the 11th. And after they're all clean and pretty for Christmas, then they can have their bandanas on. Okay. So, you have to take your big square and fold it across the diagonal. Yeah, if I can hold it. Like so. Right sides together. Leave yourself a spot along one side to make the opening for turning it back through, and then sew all around. This is not rocket science. This is pretty easy. I just wanted to show you guys the fabric. I have actually explained on my channel how to do this before. But you can kind of whip them off pretty quick here. I'm just going to scoot this around a little bit so you can kind of see the sewing machine better. And I'll just pin to make sure. Oof. Yep, Deborah says dogs aren't one size for all. That's for sure. And I usually use, like, I have some of these. Have I got another one? Yeah, I do. I have two. These pins with the flat heads, I sometimes use those to mark my opening space because they're, like, different. Usually I use these ones with the yellow heads. So if I put 2 of the other ones in a spot, then I'll know, okay, that's my opening spot. Because otherwise I'm kind of dumb and I'll just go, oh la la, and then, oh, yeah, well, I wasn't supposed to sew there. So, you know, so we'll put one there and one about there. I gave myself about that, I don't know, 5 inches or so, ish. Okay. One down here in the corner. And for sewing these, well, for starters, I don't even have my 1/4 inch foot on my machine right now because I'm still doing that wolf paper piecing thing. So if I use that, it doesn't really matter about your seam allowance is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have to be perfect 1/4 inch. It can be 3/8, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not a dire thing at all. One there. Okay, and I'm pinned down the other side. You don't have to be super careful about the pinning, but this is kind of a big piece of fabric, and to have it not shift around is probably better. There, okay. How we doing? Oh, hi Enid, itching for stitching. Thanks for coming in. She gives me a little Santa emoji. And hi Joe, good morning. Waving, hello. Okay, so I'm going to start up here at the corner, sew down till I get to this pin, do a back stitch, because you don't want your stitches coming out, go down to the next pin, sew down there, pivot at the corner, and sew all the way down the other side. Make sense? And I have red thread in the machine. Just to match. You don't have to match if you don't want. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's only bandana. And I'm going to back stitch a little up at the corner here too. Just a bit. There we go. Let's turn it up a little bit. I'm kind of slow. There we go. There's that one. Okay. Now, if you guys wanted to, I've done this before for a friend who has a black lab, or well, she has 2 black labs. That's why I did it. You cut yourself 2 identical size squares, and then you cut them across the diagonal, and then make the bandana with 1 of each fabric. That way it's like reversible and you can change it around. It's the same procedure, it's just another step because you're not cutting it and then changing the fabrics around. Deborah Holdman is crocheting dishcloth to replace her old ones. Good plan. I've got a few of those too. I don't crochet, but I have friends and family members that do, so I get goodies from them. Katie says the fancy dog food store here sells little bandanas for atrocious prices. Yeah, I've seen them at one of the pet stores too. Katie, are those the ones that like you can put on the dog's collar and just slip it over sort of idea? And Enid says she knit and crochets dishcloth sometimes too, Deborah. Deborah doesn't knit, but she crochets. I admire you all people that can do things with wool. I'm totally hopeless at it. Totally hopeless. Okay, can you guys actually see what I'm doing here? Here. The laptop camera's good, but it's trying to get a funny angle. Okay, so I got to my space and I backstitched. Now let's pop the needle up. Scoot along here. Whoops. Cut my thread. Cut those straggly ones at the end while I'm at it. Get rid of that. Gonzo. I want to show you guys something else after that I think I'm going to have a go at, but I won't do on camera because I'm not sure about. Come on, down you go. Okay, little back stitch at the beginning on the other pin and off we go. I'm just going along the edge of my presser foot right now, so my seam allowance is somewhere between 1/4 and 3/8. Get down to the quarter here. One more stitch, I think. And switch it around. Perfect, look at that. Sometimes I know what I'm doing. Okay, let me just finish this up and I'll check chat. Okay. The sun around. It would give us a bit better light in here if the sun comes around, but it'll also make me blind because it will shine right in the window. Totally the wrong angle. Coming down the end here. And do a back stitch here. There we go. Okay. Oh, my scissors are over there. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Oh, there they are. Okay. Ah, couldn't find my scissors for a second. Crisis averted. Okay, so. All right. Okay. Okay, Enid says I'm not a fantastic crocheter. I can do some crocheting. The venerable granny square is my favorite. I don't think I could even do those, Enid. Oh my goodness, Katie. She says they're a hem triangle and nothing fancy. $18 and up. Seriously? And they're not even they're not even doubled, right? It's just a triangle with a hem, right? Like a napkin kind of idea? That's insane. Deborah does beading too. Jack of many crafts, master of none. And Enid is the same. Yeah, well, I do a few things too. You guys have been around my channel for a while and know that I kind of dabble. Some stuff works out, some stuff does not. Enid crocheted a few snowflakes. Oh, cool thing in the country, Lori. Hello. Hi there, everybody. Thanks for joining us, Lori. Enid had a friend gift me her substantial crochet thread stash and I've barely touched it. Oh, Deborah, yeah, I had to put up blackout curtains so I could begin my sewing, be in my sewing room. Yeah, once upon a time this was our daughter's bedroom. And there is a, pull down blind, which it blacks out pretty good. I mean, if it's hot in the summer, that's how I sew, but. Oh, hello, Katie. The Greenland Quilter. Hello, hello. Yeah, KD Crafts gas. The first time I checked the price, that is absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, you see how easy this is to make. Like, it's not $18, but I guess if you don't sew or have a sewing machine, I guess you think it's okay. I don't know. But those of us that sew and craft are like, you gotta be kidding. So before you do the turning around, trim your corners off so they're not pointy, gives you less bulk. Or the turning through, I should say. See this one here? I'm just gonna go across there. Obviously don't cut your stitching, but you know, go kind of close, like, I don't know if I can show you guys this properly. I think I'm in frame here. Like so. Whoopsie. Take that pin out, and then we'll do this corner too. There we go. So, all done. There's my opening. Let's turn it on through while I talk to you. It is kind of tricky to get the corners really perfect. Just do the best you can. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to grab my chopstick. Again, that's over there. I should have got that when I got my scissors. Poke it out with my hand, first of all. Actually, scissors that are closed would make a not bad turning out tool. Because the blunt end is not that sharp, right? Just kind of rub it with your fingers and maneuver it into position as much as possible. There, that's reasonable. Okay. Enid says, I love the Avli sewing tutorials, hand sewing. Oh, okay, I'll have to look that up. Thanks, Enid. Okay, well, another thing I do, it's kind of hard to do it when it's big, but you see down there where the seam is? I've got my middle finger in there, and I go as far as I can, and then I hold it with my thumb, and I kind of, it's hard to show, I drag my middle finger down the seam to open it up as much as possible. It's not foolproof, but it does help a little bit. Alright, this is the other corner. The 90-degree angle corner is a little easier to poke out than the other two are. That's better. Okay, again. Scooch it up a little bit, hold it, and drag. Okay, and the last one. So I'll get the scissors back in. This is the tedious part. Okay. Just go a little bit at a time. Alright, that's pretty good. And opening and pull it. Alright. Hi, Gladys. Okay, Enid says it's on YouTube. Avli. I'm gonna grab my pen and make a note of that once I'm done this. Deborah says use the back end of the chopstick. Yeah, I've done lots with chopsticks, but it's over there and my scissors are here, so whatever you got that works. You can use like a dull knife, you know, like a butter type knife or something like that, or one of those palette knives for painting. They have kind of a pointy-ish end. Enid says she has a hair stick that's smooth wood. Oh, that's a good idea too. Yeah, not super sharp, right? Pointy, but not too pointy. I'm just kind of finagling the seam as I'm talking to you guys. On the long seam, the long side where I don't have the opening, it's harder to do because you got to kind of grab it funny and just smooth it a little bit at a time. There. Now, if you wanted to be particular, you could take your opening and you sort of give it a tug and it'll kind of fold underneath. Give it a pressing, obviously. But you can hand stitch this closed if you want to. I don't do that. I just press it good enough. One side at a time. And then I do an entire top stitch all the way around, and that closes that up. Hi Tracy H. How you doing? Thanks for coming in, joining us all. Those ornament pillows I hand sews, I use my old hair stick. I grabbed another sheet off eBay, couldn't resist. Yeah, those were really cute. They're kind of big though, right? I mean, not that that matters, but I did see your video on that, Enid. So I'm just up here pressing. Obviously, while you're up here folding your sides over, like press the whole thing really good. It is helpful. Kind of fold that down like so. Flip it over. Make this side kind of meet up a little bit. Press around the whole thing, including the fold. It just makes life easier. Come on. There. Okay. Pressed and ready to go. Okay. I go about 1/8 from the edge. At this point, if you wanted to, if your machine has lots of fancy stitching, you could run a fancy stitch around this as the top stitch. That would look cute. Depends how fancy you want something that's going to go around a dog's neck, but hey, it's your bandana, have at her. Okay, let's line this up. I need some coffee first though. Okay. Deborah can't get in the Christmas spirit. I'm only sort of there. I'm working on wearing my earrings every day, trying to concentrate on that. I dug this out of the box so I could wear it for you guys. The tree's been up for 2 weeks. No, last weekend we put it up. But I haven't wrapped anything yet, so that's probably going to be coming up next week. We got a really busy weekend, and I got a lot of stuff to do today. I might wrap, but we put, we have one of those little villages, you know, light up with whatever, some houses, some trees, some bench, and so those go on the mantle. So that's kind of one of my tasks for today. Next Thursday, the 12th, is my husband's birthday, so that sort of gives us a bit more of a Christmas kickoff push. And we got to go to the vet too on Monday. That's the other thing we got to do next week. The boys need their update. It's not rabies, it's all the other stuff. Lepto, Bordetella, and whatever the other common one is that I can't remember right now. And Enid says the one I got just has smaller ornament pillows, not the big ones. And I scored one with Christmas Care Bears. Oh, cool. And she's been hand sewing them. Good for you, Enid. Tracy H is like, Deborah can't get in the spirit. Well, it is only the 6th. You know, got some time. Enid has wrapped a few, but I got it cracking. I don't like wrapping that much either. I try to use bags as much as possible. But we have a problem with our new to us fake tree. Usually when we have a real tree, my husband hacks off the bottom part of the last, I don't know, 18 inches or so you can put presents under the tree. Well, this one's fake, and the lower branches are pretty low. So everything I wrap is going to have to be as flat as possible. So it goes under the tree. Not that we have lots, but still. Joe's been watching Hallmark movies. Helps her get in the Christmas spirit. Okay, so here, I'm going to scoot you guys around so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Back to the sewing machine. You can sort of see me. Okay, yeah, about 1/8. I'm just doing regular old straight stitch. Do what you feel like. This is essentially a top stitch. So go around the whole thing, even the fold, the whole works, all the way around. Going carefully with the hand wheel just on the edge so I don't mess it up on the pointy corner. There we go. Come on. Sometimes my machine doesn't like going ahead with bulk like that. There we go. Needs a bit of encouragement. Okay. And come on. guess you have to talk to it, right, everybody? Scoot it by hand a little bit over there. That might be better. Let's see. Come on. Cooperate. Ah, there we go. That worked. Okay, let's sugar it out a little bit. Now, here's where I'm coming around to my open edge. So I want to hold it kind of carefully so it doesn't shift around. I just put my fingers over top of the folded area. Like I have like my hand like this with 3 fingers over top of the folded area, just keeping it kind of flattish as I come up to it. If it shifts, it's not horrendous. Just make sure that you're relatively close. Again, it's going on a dog. Come on. There, okay, that's better. Now, actually, I gotta hold it this way a bit more. There we go, okay. Now we're cooking. Just kind of go a bit slower along here. Got it good. You could pin it if you wanted to. I'm not that particular, though. Just about. I'll catch back up to chat. Give me a second here. I'm coming up to the 90-degree corner and then I'm back around to where I started. Threads out of the way. Back stitch. There we go. I will give that a final press, and I'll put it aside with Ferris's and be ready for next week when the dogs are clean. Okay. What did I miss? Oh, sorry, Enid. Oh. Dog bandana. This is for Henry. This one's Ferris's. Ferris we have had since he was a puppy. Henry we adopted in June. So he needed a bandana. I bought him a stocking because Ferris already has one. Oh, thanks, Enid. Sorry, I'm not, however, when people come in. Oh, Sojo. Hi, Mary Jo. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. So, I got something I want to run by you guys. I did this way back, I don't know when, for some present or other. I'm going to have to do research again. I've got this big wide ribbon. It's, I don't know, 3 inches or so. My husband and I, and my mom and dad went in with us. We bought my children mini freezers for Christmas. They're not getting unwrapped. Like, they were in a big box. They got delivered. And they're downstairs in the spare room, and they're sitting in a box. So, my plan is to make a great honkin' big bow. And, like, stick it on there and put a tag and call it a day. So, what I've seen done before, I think this one might be smaller. I've got this sort of, like, holly one. There's a red truck one. If I'm remembering correctly, and I'm going to have to look it up because I saw somebody do it on YouTube somewhere. You use a long enough piece of ribbon that you make two big loops with the tail hanging down, and you sort of cross them in the middle. So it looks like a big X. Bottom part of the X has the tails, top part of the X has loops. And then you hold that together part somehow, like a staple or glue or whatever. And then you take a same piece of ribbon, and I guess it depends if it's if it's the wire stuff, it works easier because then you don't have to fold the edge in. But to make yourself a neat edge, you take a small piece and basically wrap that small piece around the middle and tuck it all in so it looks like a nice flat bow on the front. Does that make sense? I think that's how you do it. But I'm going to double check to research in case so I don't mess it up because I want it that's my plan, just right on top of the box. Put a tag, done. They're probably going to even get them before Christmas just so they can take them home. My son's got he bought himself a new truck last spring, so he can put his in, might even be able to put it in the back seat if they fold it down actually. Whatever, anyway, he can put it in his truck. Although he doesn't have a cover, so it's raining. My husband might have to put it in our truck because we have a tonneau cover. My daughter's got a Pathfinder. She can put her back seats down and lay it down sideways in her vehicle, so that's not a problem. So that's a project coming up if I can figure it out. And I still have to keep working on the wolf quilt because I've bogged down with work and other stuff going on. Here, I'll shift the camera around so you can see. See, I have odds and ends of fabric up on the wall. And down there is a bunch of pattern pieces done and ready to go. Excuse me, sorry. So that's coming up too. I gotta do that next week probably. Usually we use my my table here, my cutting table, as the wrapping table, just because it's also, I raised it up so I can cut probably without wrecking my back. So that's probably what I'll do next week too, is I'll grab as much stuff as I can to wrap as much stuff as I can from our wrapping bin and then put it away. But in the meantime, I will work on that. And obviously I don't want to have red thread. My next piece that I have to assemble is piece 14, so I'm kind of slow. Some of the pieces for the wolf aren't, like, they're not assembled. It's just cut a piece of fabric big enough, because it's one piece. But it depends on the pattern piece. Here, I'll show you what I mean in a second. Okay, like, for example, this is piece 3. It is one piece of mahogany. And I sewed around within the seam allowance just to keep it from flapping around and being a pain. This is piece 13. And it looks like that, with several fabrics on it. And piece 14 is a mirror image of it. That's my task next. I have piece 14 cut out, and there's all my little bits of fabric. Put that up there. Piece 15 is kind of odd. It's going to look like this. It's pretty big. It has several fabrics on it. I cut out a piece of charcoal that I knew was big enough, just pinned it on so I wouldn't lose it. So I'm just going to methodically go along for a little while. I'm using an 80-12 needle just to punch the holes bigger for the paper piecing. But after a while that's going to go a bit dull, and then I'll change myself to a fresh 70 and my 1/4 inch foot, and I'll start assembling some of them, putting them together. Jigsaw puzzle style, right? Okay, what time are we at? 9:07. I think that's all I have to tell you guys. I will do another video before Christmas. That will be the 20th, I think. Or another live, I mean. And I might make some more Christmas ornaments. I haven't done any of those, you know, the styrofoam ball where you fold the rectangles and pin them all in. I haven't done one of those in a while. There's one somewhere in my crafting playlist on my channel. I know I filmed one of them. I forget which one. I've made one for my nephew, one for me, it's hanging on the tree, and one for my mom. You need fabric that's not too patterny to make those. So I'll have to look through my stash and see what I can come up with. It's better if you have 3 distinct colors, then the pattern of the folding all shows up better. So we'll see. I might have enough fabric for that. Otherwise, I might try my idea of cutting out shapes and doing them like a quilt sandwich and doing a lot of stitching around and then pinking shear the edge. We'll see. Hello, 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 Laura Lynn, Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. How you doing? Ugh. Oh, I don't know if you can hear the garbage man in the back. Friday's garbage day. So, yeah, that's my plan coming up. I got busy Christmas stuff to do, and then naturally because I'm doing busy Christmas stuff. Oh, hi Deb S. The Pug Mama Quilter. Good morning, good morning. I have had people requesting me to look up stuff for them for travel. So, like, for the last 2 weeks I've done not exactly nothing, but it was pretty quiet. And the week that I have everything going on, people are like, hey, can you look this up for me? Yes, of course I can, but I'm trying to get Christmas. Yeah. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate the thumbs up. Helps me out. If I remember, I will put my Buy Me a Coffee link in the description box for this video. I've been forgetting lately. But it's the links on the main part of my channel, like under the name and all that. If you guys feel like doing that, that'd be helpful. But you don't have to. Just keep watching, it's all good. Okay. Oh, hey, Laura Lynn. I think you missed coming in. I just made this. Here, let's back up a little. This is for Henry. You could probably do a bandana like that for Sophie, Laura Lynn. Maybe 20 inches, a 20-inch square. That's 22. Oops, I dropped one of my Wolfie fabrics. There was another one there. You stay there. I may or may not use all that fabric that's pinned to the wall, but it was just extras from cutting and I put it there just in case. Oh, thanks, Laura Lynn. And I had to make it for Henry because we just adopted him in June and this is his first Christmas with us. Ferris has had this one for a couple years. I also made a Halloween one for Henry. So he's going to get all the bandanas the same as Ferris. Yep, needs a pressing still. That's good for that. Laura Lynn puts up dog emojis. Yeah, I don't have a formula for doing this. I just figured it out kind of trial and error. So you'll have to just, if you want to make a bandana, just try one and see. Does anyone know if Donna will be live tonight or not? That's from Katie, the Greenland Quilter. I'm not sure. I haven't seen a community post from them yet. Maybe. Usually Joe puts up a community post. If they are or aren't. Oh, thank you, Laura Lynn. They're not that hard to do, honestly. The idea is, okay, I explained this before, but I cut a 22-inch square. So the long side is 31 inches. And this can be tied double knot around the dog's neck. Right? Make sense? Oh. Yeah, Laura Lynn doesn't have a clue either. Oh no, Laura, I just tie it up. You could do a button if you wanted though. I just do 2 knots. Ferris kind of figures it's a bit of a, oh, let's play. Like, sit there and be still, you doofus. I'm tying this around your neck. And then once he gets it, he's like, oh, right. Okay, and then he sits there and like... And Henry's so chill, he just kind of sits there. But Ferris is like, oh, let's play. Ooh, fabric. Ooh, la la. Yeah. No. He's gormless. Ferris is. Like, this hat's bugging me. It's itchy. Got my hair cut yesterday. That was helpful. So I'm prettied up for Christmas. Dogs are next. Okay. Oh my god, now my head's all sweaty. Okay, there we go. That's better. All right. Sorry for everybody that just appeared late. I'm happy that we can chat, but I really don't have anything else to tell you for this video, so it's going to be kind of boring at the end. Yeah, I just have to keep on carrying on with the stuff I'm doing, finish up Christmas stuff, finish up the work I have to do, and then I'm good to go. I haven't heard from my daughter yet. She flew down to Long Beach in California with one of her bosses, because there is a vet conference. So she's gone for the weekend. J&N Travels. Oh, hello. How's everything going? Digging out from 6 inches of snow in New Hampshire. Ooh. That's quite a big dump. We have not had any snow yet, which is, I mean, that's not unusual at all. Sometimes we get none. It depends. Some years we get a bit, some years we get nothing. Earlier in the week, like Monday, Tuesday, it was a bit colder here. I got up in the morning at like 7 o'clock. It was -1 Celsius. So what's that? 30 Fahrenheit? I don't know. Whatever. Just a bit below zero, below freezing. And it's going to cloud up later today, and between tonight and tomorrow we're supposed to get a big whack of rain because there's another system coming in. But it's warmed up. It's not below zero anymore. So the mountains all around, they have snow. And large portions of British Columbia that are east and north of me that have mountains, they have snow. But Greater Vancouver and the Fraser Valley does not. Deborah says it's 18 degrees here. That's chilly. That must be like about, I don't know, -8, -10? Not really sure. For my American friends, Vancouver and Seattle are only 150 miles apart. So, weather's pretty similar. Systems come across the Pacific, dump rain. Everybody gets rain. Or whatever. Excuse me. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Oh! No, never mind. I had a thought, but I don't know how to do it. So I'll figure out something else Christmassy to do in 2 weeks. And then we'll go from there, and then I'll do something for beginning of January. I think that's the 2nd? The 3rd? The 3rd. Friday the 3rd, because my dad's birthday's the 5th, and that's a Sunday. So it is 9:16. We've been 45 minutes, and I've been yapping at you for too long, I think. So it's time to call it, because now I have stuff to do. Thank you once again to all who have joined me. I do appreciate it. It's very nice to chat to my friends. And I'm sure I will see you all around YouTube everywhere else. I don't know when I'll upload another video of my own, because, again, busy. So we'll see. But I'll see you around. Alrighty? Bye, everybody. Merry Christmas. Maybe in 2 weeks we'll all be in the Christmas spirit more. Or we'll all be frazzled as anything because we've had 2 weeks of Anyway,